Boyfriend breaks. Christmas proposal, promise again. Let me start off by saying, I understand a lot of women get eaten alive from posting experiences like this on Reddit, but I feel as though I have no one to listen to in real life that will take me seriously. Even if everyone hates me on here, I am still thankful for the opportunity to let my feelings out regardless. My partner and I have been together for 3 years and have lived in our apartment for a year and a half. I was very hesitant on living with him early on in our relationship because I absolutely and without a doubt knew I did not want to be in a relationship for 10 plus years with no engagement ring. I've heard of and seen it happen so many times, I was terrified it would happen to me, yet I did not want to end our relationship by not moving in with him. He actually did promise me that we would be engaged before living together, but he got a job offer in another city, almost 2 hours away, and begged me to come live with him because after living so close together for the beginning part of our relationship, he did not want and couldn't bear to even have a semi-long distance relationship with me, and said he would consider ending it if I did not move with him because the situation would be too much for him to handle. My boyfriend has been promising an engagement by Christmas, in his own words, for the past 2 years now. All throughout last year, 2021, he kept going on and on how he was saving for this awesome engagement ring and kept bragging about how I was going to love it because he took all the notes on what type of ring I loved and promised to follow through. Again, these were his words coming out of his mouth. I did not give him any ultimatums or tell him what he was going to do for me. That was in June. Come Christmas Eve time last year, he sat me down and very gently told me that there wasn't going to be any engagement ring secretly hanging on the tree or hiding in my stocking, because the ring he wanted to get for me wasn't on sale anymore and had gone back up in price, so he needed to save for it even longer. He promised he would definitely have it by next Christmas, and how he had this very special Christmas proposal planned for me because I deserved a great proposal. Again, his words, not mine. As we all know, today is Christmas Eve, and I assume you all know what must have happened. Otherwise, I would not be depressed and drinking myself to death, because I just do not know if I could go on, yet again, another full year with false promises of a Christmas proposal. But here's the good part. That extremely romantic Christmas proposal happened to my lifelong best friend instead of me. Here I am pretending to be happy for her while hiding my depression from everyone else. Hence the drinking that I suggested as a means of celebration. How it happened. Given how my boyfriend promised that my proposal was going to happen this year, I was so excited Christmas Eve day and heading down to the Christmas tree. It's important to note that my best friend, 29F, and her boyfriend, now fiancé, 32M, are staying with us because my boyfriend and I already celebrated Christmas with our families and our friends live rather far away from theirs. So the past few years we celebrate Christmas Eve and or Christmas Day or a few days right before Christmas together. I made an absolute fool of myself right off the bat because there was a beautiful arrangement of flowers sitting right underneath the tree with balloons and all. The flowers were arranged in a miniature Christmas sleigh that had my best friend's name written on it. At first I thought they were for me as part of my proposal, until I read her name on them instead. A delivery was made the other day, and both my boyfriend and my best friend's now fiancé wanted to keep the package a secret and kept it hidden in the basement and told us not to peek otherwise, it could ruin a surprise. We both agreed and kept our distance from the basement. As it turns out, the surprise was intended for her, not for me. Next to the flowers was a stuffed reindeer with what looked like a Christmas tree ornament around its neck. Inside was a beautiful speech written to her about how much he loves her, exactly why he loves her, how Christmas means so much to them, and all that beautiful stuff. What hurts even more is that they have been together for less than 2 years. I know it's not important in the grand scheme of things, but someone might as well stab icicles into my face because that's how much pain I am in waiting every year for a proposal. She's crying before she finishes reading, and behind her is her boyfriend on his knee with the engagement ring. She instantly jumps into his arms and screams, "Yes!" And there is my boyfriend standing right beside me, recording the entire scene on their phone. The ring was beautiful, and would make anyone say wow to top it off. He had it custom made with an emerald, his birthstone, and her birthstone, ruby. So it was perfectly Christmas themed and had December 24th, 2022 engraved on the inside of the band along with their initials. Of course, the couple couldn't contain their happiness for the rest of the day. And of course, I can't blame them one bit. To make matters worse, I saved up to buy my boyfriend a gorgeous leather jacket that he desperately wanted all year, and told me how happy he was with his gift, while I get a scarf from the drugstore. I know it was from the drugstore because we were just in there a couple days ago, and I noticed that exact scarf. That day, he told me he had to go back to the store, and now I know that's exactly what he went back to get. All because I said, it was cute. I spent months planning his gift, and he doesn't even take 2 minutes to plan mine. I was drinking all day today, just to try and numb my feelings. To make everything even worse, my boyfriend, I really resent calling him that now instead of my fiancé, kept saying things like, "Look at how happy they are. Their relationship looks wonderful. And maybe that will be you someday." It really fucking hurt like someone tore my heart out and chopped it up with a steak knife. I couldn't even eat dinner with them, and blamed being too drunk to stomach any food. So, not only did I miss out on Christmas dinner, but it's been almost a full day without anything in my stomach except alcohol. I know that part is entirely my fault. I have no idea what to do going forward, and I know it sounds insane, asking a bunch of strangers online what to do with the rest of my life regarding this relationship. And I really just want to pass out and sleep right now. Update 1. When our friends left our apartment on December 27th, my boyfriend immediately accused me of ruining his Christmas because I wouldn't sleep with him. I use sleeping as a polite way to describe he was upset that we didn't have sex all throughout Christmas. I told him there was a very good reason for that, and that reason was because I have officially broken up with him both in my mind and in my heart, and I was only keeping things civil with him so my best friend could properly celebrate her engagement. Guys, I am so glad he never proposed, because after I laid everything out on the table honestly, he turned into one of those angry rejected men that many of us dread confronting one day. He started swinging his hands and knocking everything off our table and screamed something in my face. I was too upset to listen to him and grabbed my phone and told him I am 1 second away from calling the police if he tries anything stupid. Then after he calms down from acting like an abusive shithead, he plays the guilt card by crying in the living room as I finish packing my things. At this point, I have already called my dad to come pick me up. He's always been afraid of my dad, even more so than the police probably, and told him that if he tries to harm me in any way, that my dad would finish him off himself. Now he's trying to guilt trip me, asking things like, why we need marriage if our relationship is already so good? And what would a piece of paper change anything? Then he accuses me of wanting nothing but a big production, and to be the center of attention with an expensive engagement ring, and how I've been using him to get engaged, and all that bullshit garbage I'm sure some of you have used before. Oh yeah, as some of you have requested, I also demanded the jacket back after he accused me of only wanting expensive jewelry. He even had the gall to tell me I was unappreciative of his gift, the drugstore scarf that costs $9.99. Honestly, all I could do was laugh at him. I felt safe doing so because he knew my father was already on the way. And at the same time, I had my best friend, the one who stayed over and got engaged on Christmas Eve, on speaker so she could hear everything he had been saying to me. She threatened to call the police as well on my behalf if he tried swinging his arms and breaking anything else. But I told her it was okay because my dad would be there soon. She's known him for 10 years as well. And she laughed and mentioned he had no chance. I also want to use this update as a cautionary tale for people who are or have been in similar situations as me. I have been with this man, baby, for 3 years, and he has never acted like this in any way until I rejected him sexually and broke up with him. I'm just very disgusted in him after that, and I have been ignoring every one of his phone calls, and I can happily say I have a safe place in my parents' home. Ladies, put yourself first, and these men second. Everything my ex has said to me I have found on other posts in this own sub by women defending these men, and I am very depressed on their behalf. I do, however, wish everyone a happy new year, and I hope that you stick to your timelines, if you have one, and leave for your own happiness and mental health if it comes down to it. Please, please stay safe from men like this, and all the best.